You ordered what?
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Dean Callan Show. We are live, late as usual, but live. And today I have a very special guest in the one and only Joe McAnta. Now, here, if I can get this angle right the first time. No! Why me?
It's okay. We want to keep them. We
How's
want
that
to keep.
one?
I love it.
Yeah, that one looks good.
It's always
I'll fix
been
the angle
my
in a
second best side.
So,
Let me say that's my second best side.
Do you see the way it looks green now?
It's, you know what?
Every time we go live.
Green with envy. That's all I have to
Get
say.
the green tint out of there.
It looks
There we
good. It's
go.
green because it's, you know.
Oh yes.
Oh, we're warming up.
We're just having to figure it out as we go. I think the app has, like, I've updated the app so many times now. One of the updates, it must have just changed the settings somewhere.
You must just think that you want to be green.
It's only when I go live though.
Well, you know, that's what life's all about. That's what live is all about. All right.
So how are you?
Amazing to be here. First off, we were talking about
Finally!
this. This is like a long time coming for me, and to be back, seeing you amidst the chaos that's out there in the world,
And the chaos that's going on
and the
in
chaos
here at the
that
moment.
might be going on in here. Lights are coming on, lights are going off. I have to say, honestly, for those of you who watch this show and have not yet been in this room, in this shed, it is a feat of modern intuitive ingenuity that you put this all together. It's amazing. It's literally amazing. And we were talking about this just a second ago, but for this time of, you know, the COVID crisis, the way that so many people are having to do more online, to do more video, you've nailed it by allowing people to come at a safe distance like we are, and be able to still be talking about what we do. And I just props to you.
Yeah, without
honestly.
having to pay an absolute fortune
Well,
for live stream.
That's a huge thing. I mean, that's, yeah.
Well, you know what the funny thing?
And there's nobody else in this. This is just you. This is just Dean. You must all know this. There's not a soul in here but us. And it looks like there's about 15 cameramen, 8 sound people.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, I think there's a fluffer, or maybe that was you.
I wish there was a fluffer.
Was that you? Oh, okay.
Damn,
Yeah.
that'd be so
Next
good.
time.
Actually, I don't know if Electra would allow that.
So
Even
only
if
when
it-
your special guests come on.
Even if it wasn't a sexual thing, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't mean What are you? What?
What's a fluffer?
Someone who fluffs your egg whites. Jeez. Come
Oh,
on,
okay.
dirty mind.
I thought it was someone that just keeps you. going.
Okay.
Whoop.
That was a joke. That was.
Alright, I caught that. Yeah.
So
I'm-
great, thank
man,
you.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Before I, as I was about to say, you mentioned creating like a space for people to come and talk on, like, in the digital realm. Right?
Absolutely.
Now, hey, Douglas Ancroft!
Yes, Doug. We just spoke, and we were just speaking of you, Douglas.
We were literally just talking about Douglas.
Everyone, hats off to the man who is changing the world with his. You've tried the liqueur. Is it back here?
Yeah. Oh,
It's phenomenal.
It's usually there.
It is.
There's always a bottle.
Let's get this up there. This is for Douglas.
Whoop, whoop.
Everyone,
Oh.
if you've not tried it, it's like the most perfectly balanced.
I wonder
passion
what it
fruit-
would taste like with maple.
Oh, we'll find out.
We'll
I've
find
done
We should
porn
try
star
it.
martinis, but with our soda instead of champagne, and played around with some champagne.
Oh, nice.
Well, we can play with that later. But well done, Doug, and thank you.
You know, Douglas, come here.
Oh yeah, I
he was
know.
hanging
I
out.
watch. Of course. I saw the La Vanille over there. We can, whip
Yeah,
up
the
a porn
one thing
star.
we're missing is the actual fresh passion fruit. Oh no, I bought fresh passion fruit yesterday. It's a passion fruit puree.
I've got enough passion inside me.
It's how do we get it out?
That's where the fluffer comes in.
That's
what the fluffer's for.
This degraded into sexual innuendo
So
so
quickly.
fast. Actually, you
So
know what?
quickly.
That leads me to a perfectly legitimate question to ask at
Yeah.
this point. Have you ever?
No, I'm worried.
All right.
Okay.
I'm hoping. the
Have you
audio-
ever, after you've talked about fluffing, it's never a good. Okay.
Have you ever had a cocksucking cowboy?
I haven't. I know
haven't?
what it is, and I would love to have one from your hands.
Guess what happened to me?
I would love.
So we're gonna both do stuff.
Yeah,
right?
let's do it.
So this is a surprise package that arrived today.
Oh.
Right, it's my most recent purchase.
Okay, can I use? I don't want to use one
So,
of these knives. 'Cause these are too nice. No, you sure?
This one's Swedish.
Jeez, sweet-ish.
Yes, Swedish.
It says IKEA on it.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I mean. It's Swedish. The
Okay.
Japanese knives are expensive.
Yeah,
Swedish
I like
ones are great knives.
I like where you're
but
going
they're
with
much
this.
cheaper, you
Yeah,
know?
agreed. Do you know what? IKEA just sometimes brings so much to the
Well,
table.
You know what the funny thing is? I went all the way to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Went to Kababashi Street. to buy a knife,
I've been there many times.
right? And I
I've
was
given up.
swearing by they've got high carbon steel knives
Yeah.
in IKEA. And I was swearing by how sharp they stay.
Yeah.
And I got the guy in Kababashi in the little shop to explain the breakdown of the knife.
Yeah.
It was Swedish steel.
You
in
know!
a Japanese knife.
On Kababashi!
Yeah, man.
Oh my god. Okay. I've got a very good friend named Annika Wainwright who runs a company called Two Forks. She's Swedish. She used to be the editor of Square Meal. And
wow.
she's a big foodie.
How do you
And
know all these like big important people? with
coming
these
from you,
huge
of all
titles?
people. Okay, so wait, the surprise. I feel like the unboxing. You know they do unboxings
That's
on
what it is. It's literally
what's
an
inside,
unboxing.
everybody.
It's a live unboxing.
Ooh, a pony
Ooh.
glass.
A nude glass.
Nude glasses are the shiznit.
Oh.
A
I've
nude
been waiting for
rocks
these.
glass.
They just rocked up.
This is gorgeous. This glass
Have
is
you seen them already?
sexy. No, I've only
I bet
seen.
you get sent them for free. Or
I
something,
don't.
right?
You know what? And if I try not to get free stuff, as I know you do too. You usually buy everything.
I bought these.
You bought my mixers as well. Thank you
I
for that.
did.
Okay, so we've
'Cause then I can
unboxed.
say to people, the
This is
consumer's
true.
point of view of this is, because I'm a consumer.
I mean, I've consumed a lot, but I wouldn't call myself a consumer.
I'm
so.
definitely a consumer. I would call myself the consumer.
Well, fair enough. So, okay, the cock-sucking cowboy.
So let me tell you the story, right?
I mean, I have a story about one too, but that's not for these purposes.
It was a warmer cocksucking cowboy.
Okay.
Right. So this drink, when I was a kid, so since the ripe old age of 14
Should I be unpacking
or so,
these?
yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
have a look at them. Since the ripe old age of like 14, and I can't find my clock.
Oh, there were cloths over here, mate.
What's that?
I think I moved them on you.
Since the ripe old age of 14, I wanted to be a bartender, right? And I moved out of home quite young. And
Yeah.
I'm like 15 years old.
Yeah.
I've got this little flat, and I've started my own bar. And I remember I was in Australia at the time, and I'll never forget this.
15.
I literally went to a bartender. I met a bartender at a house party, and I was like, "Oh, so what's the most popular cocktail in a bar?" And like you've got to remember, I was in the suburbs outside
Oh.
Brisbane, Australia. Have you been to
Bris
Brisbane?
Vegas is one of
Bris
my
Vegas.
all-time
I know,
favorite
it's awesome.
favorite
The
places.
bartenders in Brisbane are really talented.
Incredible. And
forgot
the
to
bars are
share
incredible
this.
as well.
I forgot to share this all together.
What?
Anyone watching, right?
Oh,
If there's someone watching, can you share the link of this on London Bartenders Association?
Oh,
I
okay.
usually share it, but I
oh,
missed the
Zdednik's on. Hey,
I'm
Z.
too slow.
Z's on.
Yeah, so that it won't be quite... Hey,
Coming
Steve!
coming from across the other side of the
Right,
world. Okay.
I say to this bartender, I'm like, what's the most popular cocktail, you know? Like, what is it that you make all the time? And the guy's like, mate, let me tell ya, the most popular cocktail, cocksucking cowboy. I make cocksucking cowboys all night long, just chicks dig it.
Oh.
If you get good at making cocksucking cowboys, layer it properly, gotta layer it properly.
Oh,
Mate, chicks will be throwing their knickers at you all night long. And I was like, alright, sweet dude.
By the way, not a bad Bris Vegas accent, I
Yeah,
must say.
I lived in Brisbane.
You got the
I
nar,
started
all the way
mate, what are you cunts doing? YouTube's gonna
Oh,
ban me
I know.
I'm like, right, cool. So I go out and I get myself a bottle of butterscotch snaps, put it in the fridge. Bottle of Baileys, I also put Baileys in the fridge because I thought
Awesome.
it would be more viscous and it would layer better that way. And
Just
I bought myself,
intuition.
I had a bottle of Jim Beam White Label.
Yeah?
And I had, Coca-Cola and stuff like that. So we'd be making Jim Beam and Coke.
Oh,
And cocksucking cowboys.
I mean,
I would be making them for me and all my.
just
14,
this is a
15-year-old
moment.
mates.
This is a moment of pride when you get made a
And
cocksucking cowboy
I'm
by
telling you
Dean Callan
now,
on the
right?
show. On the show.
I remember specifically the very first time I made it, and me and my little buddies were all like, if you're going to be a bartender, how long do you have to study for? And we were all like, well, it must be the same amount of time as a chemist and a chef. Because not only are you like making culinary things, like we didn't say the word culinary,
sure.
but like not only are you making like
You just said
food
making
stuff,
things.
but you need to know like how much poison to administer to someone because you're literally giving people small doses of poison to get them high. You're basically a chemist.
I love it.
It must be so technical, right? And I was just like, it's good. This is the job for me.
Yeah.
And then I remember also the very last time I
made a cocksucking
cowboy. Last time I made a cocksucking
no.
cowboy, 2007, right?
For
Wait,
whom?
Wait, it gets better.
Oh God.
So, two girls walk in, and if you've been to Brisbane, you might know what a bogan is.
Ah,
right?
do I ever?
Bogan. Two bogan ladies walk in, and when I say ladies, I'm using the term really like broadly. And they come up to the bar and they're like, two cocksucking cowboys, thanks mate. And I was like, all right. In my coolest possible way, I was like, two Brokeback Mountains coming right up.
Oh!
Right? Smooth.
Oh.
And I go off to make them, and one of them goes, nah, we didn't want a Brokeback Mountain, we wanted two cowboys. And I was like,
Watch the film.
Wait, it gets better. Her friend goes, you idiot. Brokeback Mountain is a movie about two cowboys who suck cock. So he was making a joke. You were so embarrassing. And she was like, don't talk to me like that. And then they got in an actual fight.
Yes.
Right? And I come back, right, with the two, and I'm like, and I turn around to the bartender next to me, and I'm like,
Did you
"There
give it
go,
to
Diego.
We're gonna have these.
Cool, man. No more butterscotch snaps in the bar." And that was it. We no more. We just said no. We don't actually have the ingredients for
I'm
cowboys.
so sorry.
And that was the
We
last
could have.
time.
Well, here's
So-
to those lovely
but-
ladies.
Julian
I'm
DeFerro
sure-
put a post up about making cheesy shots, and I was like, man,
That's one of the
I forgot
best.
about cheesy shots.
Thank you
No
for
one's
this,
teaching
because
people.
I genuinely, to have this from your hands.
From the book of Michael Butt.
Cheers. I mean, there is something great that his name was Michael Butt too. When
well.
there's just something, that just. It's delicious. It's delicious.
Sweeter than I remember
It's
it.
delicious. It's much sweeter. That was my sugar intake
Whoa.
for the year.
Wow. Wow.
I can't
that's-
believe that
that's
like.
just a sugar
And
sip.
if you did like even 3 of those throughout the night. Oh yeah,
These
let
are
me polish
gorgeous.
these.
No,
If you
I'm
did
gonna-
3 of
I'm
those
gonna wash 'em.
throughout the night, you would literally
They look
have the
good.
worst hangover
They look
ever the
good.
next day. Like that's
Yeah,
proper.
so I think we might need a spirit mixer. to
Well,
wash those down,
that's a good idea. I think.
So Joe, for those of you that those out in TV land that don't already know Joe McCanta, Joe McCanta is currently the global brand ambassador for Grey Goose.
Actually,
Grey
I'm
Goose-
not. I'm not. As of this year, of April 1st, my title.
April 1st.
What's not April Fool's?
I totally bought that for a second.
No, come on. I'm not an Ian
Okay.
Burrell, okay?
So as of April 1st, you're
April
the
1st,
Galactic Brand
I
Ambassador?
changed my
Universal.
title. But this is, of course, right as COVID had hit, but I'd already changed it. But
Okay.
so as of April 1st, basically, I've been working for Grey Goose coming on 10 years now, if
Yeah.
you can believe that. And I've loved it, but I've traveled all over the place, as you have, and you know what life on the road can be like. And so I wanted to step away. Lonely, hard on the liver. So, no one appreciates me. So I wanted to stop the hardcore travel.
Yeah.
So I have an amazing group of ambassadors now that we've built up over time for Grey Goose. And so
Yeah.
I stepped into a new role, which is technically head of education and mixology for Grey Goose. So it means
nice.
I don't have to be the face. They're retiring this face. I don't have to do as
no.
much travel.
That's the face that will never retire, Joe McCanta. Look,
It looks
as long
tired.
As long as someone can push a button and watch.
Oh no. Hi, I'm Joe McCanta, the Grey Goose UK brand ambassador. Today I'll be showing you some of our cocktail collection from this year's Grey Goose Winter Ball to benefit the Elton John AIDS Foundation. For the past 5 years, Grey Goose has had the pleasure to work with or create cocktails for some of the top names.
So for the kids at home, that was Joe 10 years ago,
That's
right?
right.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's a face that will never retire. He
You
looks
should
exactly.
Stop
I think you
it!
look better
Coming from
now.
you, come
I think
on,
you look
coming
better.
from you. Where's your video from 10 years ago? Let's pull it up.
They
Let's do
weren't making
one-on-one.
videos of me. They were like, dude, no. Oh God, we'll send you out. We'll send you out with a credit card and just drink with people. If you
Yeah,
did that.
I don't think that was it.
that was how we built Monkey.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
no, you were great at it. But also
we got
creating
depletions.
programs, getting people excited about whiskey drinks that they hadn't ever tried.
Yeah.
You did a brilliant job with Monkey.
It was
And then
fun.
creating tools that everybody needed to have or wanted to have. So,
Have you
well
seen
done.
this?
Oh, that's what I used
that's
earlier.
another-
When I put some sherry
We'll come
in
back
that
to it in a
earlier.
minute.
Yeah.
So you retired the face from
So-
open travel.
Yeah, less
Yeah.
of me doing things, more of me inspiring some of the team to just. So there's weird things that you have to do, as you know, where like when we make an advertisement, you have to be on set to
Oh, yeah.
make sure the drinks look right and the bar
Well,
looks.
Monkey never got to make advertisements. We
Right.
made one, but it was with zero budget, and it was
Yeah.
just ripping off Apple.
Okay, well,
Did you ever see our Apple ad?
I think I did. I think I remember
Where I
that.
pretended I was Johnny Ives, and I was like, Monkey shoulder, and we did the ice spoon. That was only so that I threatened to release that so that I could get budget.
You
to
should
make-
have.
to make the ice spoon video.
to make the okay, is that why?
They were like, we'll give you the money to make a real video. Just don't show that
But
to
where
people."
did that air? Because I think I saw it in cinemas back when we used to go to cinemas or something. I feel like that one, it wasn't just online. It definitely made it. It wasn't on TV though, was it?
No. It
no.
was literally just on my YouTube.
It was just on your YouTube,
No, so
yeah.
I had a YouTube channel that was my YouTube channel, so that I could put stuff out that technically
was Monkey
might have got
Shoulders.
us in trouble, so they could just fire me. yeah. A lot of stuff.
And then now look at you.
I was
Now
like-
you have your own show.
I was like, I'm willing to lose my job for this. Right. So
Okay. So anyways, you were just saying. So yeah, I've been doing this a long time. I'm doing this new role. So I don't have to. I'm hopefully giving a lot more of our ambassadors the spotlight that they deserve because they've got a really kick-ass
the global
team.
ambassador job should be a support role for the local ambassadors,
Yeah.
or a fill-in for markets that don't have the size and capacity to have a brand ambassador full time.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
And
But-
the roles also change now because now I think the role of an ambassador during COVID, not to get into it, but I
Yeah.
think was support and like figuring out. I think the best of what I saw out there from all brands were people saying, "Shit, let's find a way to make money for your bar. Let's get cocktails delivered to people around the city. Let's do a program with you. Let's hire you to do some education stuff or whatever." And I think, that's the kind of stuff that people on the ground can kind of do a little bit better. But
You
Yeah.
need to know you need to know the micro rather than just standing right back.
yeah, and no, every city around the world was dealing with everything differently. So if you come in with,
and I never thought about
come
what
in
does
with
the
like
global brand ambassador do when they not only can't travel, but you can't give advice because the people on the other end.
they know better what's
Yeah,
happening, and also like you don't want to seem like an idiot and say, oh, you know what you should do is just this during that time. Like everybody's gonna. I think it's important to really understand the needs of the bar communities in each of these places, and I think the people that do that best are the bartenders and then the local ambassadors as well. So.
Thank you, Z. Yeah, well,
He's a great example of that, hey?
I've always believed that the global brand ambassador, like the best global brand ambassador position would be to be there with the bit more experience, let's say,
Yeah.
for your local ambassadors.
100%.
As a support role. And so my dream was to get to a stage where I get this giant budget,
Yeah.
come up with ideas,
Yeah.
fine tune how they would work so it's a package,
Yeah.
and then like feed it to a brand ambassador, and then they are the ones that do it,
Implement.
get all the credit
Yeah.
for it, and it's their best practice.
100.
Right?
That's
And then
kind of what
each
I do,
brand
except
ambassador
without
can
the
be
big
known-
budget. Everything
Yeah,
you've
but
just
that's
said,
it.
everything you said is
Well,
what I do.
I missed out on the big
But
budget.
believe it, I don't have the big budget either,
My
unfortunately.
budget's actually kept getting cut.
Well, mine do too.
As the brand got
These
bigger,
days.
my budgets kept getting cut. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
But more people came onto the brand, so.
It's funny that, I mean, just, and also figuring out, as your brand grows, I think consumer budget versus
It
trade
needs to get
budget
bigger, yeah.
keeps growing too. So
Yeah.
it's, but well done. That was
Oh, that's
Mazel Tov. That was a PJ glass, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's another PJ glass.
We love the PJ
Oh,
glass. But,
yeah,
But
okay.
we bought so many bottles of PJ that come with the two glasses.
Did you always
Yeah,
that?
man. Like, did you see the bathroom?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It's all
His-
PJ branded.
In his loo here, everyone at Pernotion knows there's the corner shelf is being held up only by PJ bottles. Is that actually glued together, or I wondered if I took one of those, would it just fall?
It's all just sat on
Okay.
top of each other.
That is a bold
It's budget.
shelf.
But did you see the wall?
Oh yeah,
That was
beautiful.
painted by Electra.
No way.
Yeah, she painted that.
Okay.
That's how much we like PJ.
Well done.
Yeah. There's a lot. If you look at the roof, there's a lot of PJ.
Oh yeah, there's
hanging
these. Yeah,
from
lots of
from Sabrage.
sabrage
Yeah.
happened in this room, which
Yeah.
seems like a very violent room to do sabrage in. To be honest,
That's not too
is
bad.
that what these are for? I thought this was for sound, but this
That's
is
for
actually
sound, that's for
this is
sound.
just to reflect.
No,
yeah,
you know,
deflect.
like, so if you look on this, you can put a string on here.
Yeah. So
And then you can put it onto the end of the cork, and then
so it just hits
and then
you.
It
It
hits
just-
that way
it just
and bounces back.
bounce
at
back,
you.
hits you in the
Yeah.
rib, which is
But
really
not that we do that. We're just like, don't look that way.
not at the
It'll
camera,
bounce.
not at the big camera.
Right. So
Hey, Jeff
so your role
Dinan.
now is more support, right?
Jeff's joining from Canada. There's some people
Awesome.
have hopped on. Thank you.
Yeah. So your role's more support.
More support, more trying to help and come up with ideas that are, planning ahead like
Yeah.
a year from now so that we're not just reacting.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Is that okay?
That's all right. I've got like a giant recycling
I mean,
bin.
I'm happy to polish the
No,
glasses
it's
too.
okay. I'm sorry.
So yeah, more support. And then for the last 2 years, I've been working on these, which are my
this
mixers.
is what I'm pumped about.
So,
I
well, thank you for-
I'm a big fan of bubbles.
Yeah.
Like, I'm addicted to acid.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So like, and this type of the carbonic acid. So
Yeah.
I was like.
I was about to say,
I had to say,
addicted to
I've
acid.
only ever had the other type of acid once, and it was like
Not something you want to be addicted
it was,
to.
It was at Glastonbury,
Yeah. Okay.
and I
yeah.
had like way too much because I'd never had it before. And then I realized I was getting high, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then the guys were like, "Acid." I was
no!
like, "Oh man, I have never done acid. What if I freak out?" I'm like, "You don't know what I'm like if I've got too much energy and I'm a giant child for 14 hours.
This
Who's
sucks for
Who's
you.
gonna
This sucks
restrain
for
me?"
you.
So, do you know what happened?
No.
Have you ever, Block 9 at Glastonbury?
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been, but I
Right.
know of.
So,
yeah. We've.
I'm like, we're not going in that bar. We're meant to be managing that
Yeah,
bar.
sure.
And we're high. So I am going back to my tent. You're going back to the tent. We're supposed to be responsible adults.
Yeah.
So we go back to our tent, right? Sit down, open a bottle of bourbon, sit and having a drink.
on
That's
acid.
the last thing I remember.
Oh
I
God.
wake up in the morning, and I'm sitting
Oh,
upright in
no.
my chair, in fully clothed in my tent, going,
What?
And then I was like, what's that
Oh,
feeling?
no.
So then I went to the bar, and it's like 11 o'clock in the day.
Yeah.
And I run into this guy, and I'm like, normal looking dude. And he goes, "Oh, hey!" And I'm like, "Do I know you?" And he's like, "Don't talk to me like that." And I'm
Oh
like,
no.
Okay. And he says, "No, I mean, you really don't.
You don't remember
you
me.
How could you not remember me? We talked for like an hour and a half." And I'm like, "Man, I got pretty wasted last night." "No, you were talking to me perfectly sober." I'm like, "I don't remember. So I
Oh,
must have been wasted."
my-
He's like, "You can't have been drunk." I was like, "I was clearly drunk." He's like, "You were talking about how Monkey Shoulder and route to market and distribution strategies and all this stuff that you're learning." And I'm like,
Oh
"That was
my
definitely
God.
me. That was
That
definitely
sounds
me."
familiar.
That couldn't have been anyone else.
Sounds
I was
familiar.
like, "How long were we talking?" So then I go find the guy with the acid.
Yeah, yeah.
And
The
it
guy with
turns
the
out
acid.
He's flat out in a field, dressed completely in drag. We spent the entire night hanging out with the entire drag team from Block 9.
That's exactly what you should have done.
We went into their trailer and partied with them the whole night.
And
they
you
like,
were talking-
They were like,
whoa.
they put all makeup on him, and they were like, "You were like super cool, but not taking the makeup."
No,
I
no.
was like,
Also,
okay.
you were hanging out with drag queens, and all you could come up with is talking about route to market for Monkey Shoulder. Like that's the
like-
best you had.
I don't know, man. I must have. I chatted to them all loads, but like
Oh,
I
I love
don't
it.
remember talking to anyone.
I'm very proud to
I
say
must have
I've
had fun, though.
never ever touched any psycho whatever.
I wasn't expecting to do it.
I
to be
feel
honest.
like I'm crazy
Um,
enough in my mind, and it's
Well,
it's a bit,
this wasn't. I wasn't expecting it. I'm just
yeah,
gonna,
yeah, they
I
laced you with
was,
it. They were like,
well,
"Would you like some acid?" You're like, "Oh, I'll take some succinic and maybe a little bit of
I don't
malic."
remember how it happened. I just remember like feeling like wasted, and then they were like, "Oh yeah."
No, good
I was
on you
like,
for
"What?"
not being completely. I thought that story was going to go much.
No,
much
I
worse.
tried to be responsible. I'm usually like
Yeah, you're pretty.
trying to be responsible.
You are, and I've
Trying to
been
be
I've been out with you many times, and
I
you
get
are.
loose, but I'm trying to be.
No, you always have you have a grounding. I
Don't
would
die.
Say. Yeah.
Don't hurt anybody else.
Don't make sure no one else dies.
Yeah, no,
make sure
make sure
nobody
no
else.
one else gets
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, for sure.
What are we gonna have?
Okay, so which do you want to try? So the idea with these, obviously, so
We've got cold ones in that fridge.
yeah. Should we
It's
grab
slightly
one?
Open, actually.
Why? Oh, that might have been yours truly. Do you want to try just a gin and tonic
I
first?
think get one of each, and we'll try
Yeah.
like a little bit of each.
Okay,
right?
so the main one we should start with is a Vodsod, I think, to start. Grey Goose and soda, because that's what started this for me. Because I would go, or a vodka tonic.
Soda can be really inconsistent, can't it?
It's really inconsistent, and there's no top notes to soda, and
Okay.
that really bothered me because I think when you have half of the drinks that most bartenders consume after 2 a.m. are usually some kind of soda drink.
Yep.
Because it does something,
Bubbles.
and a lot of those drinks are actually vodka, even if they doesn't get admitted to most of the time.
Vodka
So
pays the bills, man.
vodka just
After
doesn't
the
pay the
skills,
bills.
obviously.
Vodka is delicious. Vodka is delicious. We just had International Vodka Day, and
I know, on
you know what I
Sunday.
love is how many bartenders are reappraising vodka now. Because you remember
They've gotten past
when I
it.
first
They're at
met
their
you.
ego.
Well, when I first met you, like 2008-ish, I
Yeah.
think.
Oh,
That
mine
was-
was 2009.
2009. Yeah, that would have been it. Yeah. Bartenders were like, no, don't stock it. Don't stock vodka. Try something.
Yeah.
And I think that's the right thing to do because you know what? There's so many other
So what
spirits
are we-
out there. So I do 1 to 3. 1 to 3.
Dum, dum,
Oh,
dum.
yes.
So I'm
Talk
gonna
us through this.
assume, So
Where do
1
we-
to 3 be
Yeah.
30 mil, be an ounce.
Yeah, do for that
Look
glass.
at it.
For that glass, I would do
Look at
30.
it.
Look at how beautiful. Look how perfect that is. Now, where
Oh.
where does first off, where do our viewers at home, if they don't know, source these?
I'm gonna like I went to Difference Guide and just bought it from. The best thing happened.
From
Bought
from
it
the
from Simon Difford. from
Online?
them. Yeah, online.
Yeah.
And I got 2 of them. One from Mitch and
Yeah.
I bought one from Mitch in LA, right?
Yeah,
Mitch
yeah,
is
yeah.
Mitch. Because actually, do you know Mitch in Australia for about $1 Australian?
Yeah.
You can get pretty much
the
exactly
same
that
thing.
cup.
I've seen them
With like 1 mil increments up to 30 mil.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's just a medicinal cup.
Yeah.
But it's really accurate and they're lightweight and no
Well,
concern.
I just did a shift at the distillery with Jake Berger. Hey Jake, if you're watching, and he's brilliantly using chemistry.
That's it.
Like the glass, basic, yeah. Like, but
I've
the
got
smaller
little ones of these. Yeah,
smaller,
exactly.
smaller little ones of that.
all different
which-
sizes. They're the ones.
Yeah.
They're the ones I run by.
And those are brilliant.
You know
But
that
this
in-
is sexier, you know?
Yeah.
And it's plastic,
And
which I think makes a big difference.
look at this. Ready?
Does it? Oh, it's magnetic. Come on.
How good is that? And look on the
The
fridge,
magnetic.
On the fridge.
I didn't know they had a
And-
magnet. I didn't
and
know they had a
you-
magnet.
So you can't see. Look, see the glass steps
Yeah.
on the inside. Because when you look down at like such a small measurement, you can't actually get it accurate by this
yeah,
because of
yeah,
meniscus.
true. So they put those.
He's put the flat bar on the inside so you
I
can
think it's
pour and then
genius.
see from the center and from above.
So
Yeah.
difference guide. Everyone go buy
It's
one.
good. It's good.
What do they cost?
Now,
Tell our
I'm gonna-
viewers at home.
I'm gonna do a whole episode like the old style where I'm not live, where I measure out the accuracy on this.
I'd love
right? Now, do you want to twist or?
Would you use? Oh, I would do a twist maybe, or just a lime wedge. Would you
Lime wedge?
Vodsod's lime wedge? So,
Wow.
okay, so the soda. So the idea
Squeeze.
behind these were how do you make a mixer that actually tastes as good as a lot of these spirits?
Yeah.
And I'm not slating. There are tons of great mixers out there. But I used to really started with the tonic actually because I would go to
Yeah, tonic's
Spain
tough.
a lot, and whenever I'm in Spain, I love going to Spain for either for work or also obviously to play.
Yeah.
And the tonic water there is so cloying and so sweet. And cheers. That looks delicious.
Cheers.
Thank you. So we'll start with
I
this.
see the ice, but
Actually, I'll talk through the soda first. So the top notes. Well, here, the tonic was the thing that started it all. So I would take
Ooh.
the cloying sweet.
Is there a saltiness to it?
There is.
I
I know.
saline in it.
I put Malden salt
You're good.
into all three of them.
Uh,
Because when I came up with the tonic first, the idea was Spanish tonic being sweet and cloying and too bitter, and I love Vichy Catalan, and so I would mix 1 part Spanish tonic to 1 part Vichy Catalan, and you get that salinity and everything, and I go
This is
nuts with
good.
it.
Okay.
So the tonic started with that kind of idea of minerality and everything. But then I thought I came from the background of wine, as you know, and when you open a really good wine and you pour it into your glass, it reminds you of a time and a place, right? That's terroir.
Yeah, exactly.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Like
It's
you smell it.
ratatouille.
C'est
You know what?
ratatouille.
You know what? This one here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
I mean, every good
Every
liquid.
time. Provence.
Provence.
Every time. Because
I'm like
I
that.
went there. That's why I love this so much, because I drank so much of this.
It reminds you of a
that
time and place.
A little old French man in a cafe watched me downing it like it was like, like tea or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is alcoholic? And I was like,
You're like,
yeah, no shit, man. Bring more!
Bring more. It's medicinal too.
Dude, I can drink. Don't worry. Don't be
Wines
concerned.
have always been like that. I grew up in California,
Yeah.
and I still love a Cali Chard. Like you're like, it smells like. I worked with this sommelier named Joshua Wesson. He used to say, California wines, they're like a stick of butter on a 2x4. I love it. or like
Buttery biscuit
you
base.
think of
That's
like
what I say.
Australia, like Australia Shirazes are like the jammiest thing. So, anyways. I wanted to bottle a time and place. So then I got thinking, I wanted salt, I wanted a time and place. Where are people happiest?
Soda by the seaside.
The seaside.
Yeah.
Even if you're by yourself, the seaside, or if you're with other people, the coast. And also the coast is about this is the last bit of the long story, and I promise.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of the name. And I'd already I knew which coasts I wanted these to come from. I was like, the soda water, I want to be inspired by one of my favorite coastlines, which is Japan. So I grabbed some yuzu essence, a bit of Japanese pine, and sea salt, and then also just kind of combined it with white tea, which I saw
when you
you've
said
got.
yuzu essence, did you like go to a flavor house and get like a grass
We did,
essence?
yeah. So I worked actually with a few flavor houses. I can't tell you
I know,
necessarily who.
So I'm all about the NDA.
But they're people that I've known for some time and trusted. But like, so for the tonic, it's the UK coastline that we were inspired by. So fresh cut grass, which is from the UK, because for me, going to the beach I've recently
UK beaches are UK beaches.
well,
like,
my
they're
mother-in-law
different
lives in Whitstable, and so that area, Sea Salt and Whitstable, and I got a place down there. Jay and I just bought a place down there.
Wait, is that
Might
where
have been-
Whitstable Gin's from?
Well, no, there's a Whitstable
That's
beer.
Whitby's.
There's a Whitby's you're thinking of. There's not a gin yet, but there's a
No,
Whitstable beer.
No, is Whitstable on like up near Nottingham, on the way to Nottingham?
No, it's due east. It's almost exactly due east of London.
But up.
Pretty much directly due east.
I'm mixing it up with somewhere else.
It's the only place. It's the oyster part of the world. Apparently,
I have been to
Romans
Whitstable,
landed
I think.
there, and they do amazing oysters there. And the Romans found these oysters, and they just started eating them, and they
landed
didn't
there,
go.
They ate oysters,
And
and
they
were
didn't
like,
leave.
We're staying.
Yeah, they did.
We'll just.
But they didn't
conquer
go
this
anywhere
land.
else in the UK. They had to send another convoy to get them to move. True story. They were like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, hey. So and
You
then
want to try Talisker with soda?
oh yeah, definitely,
soda?
because the Japanese highball or a highball in general, but
What's your
Japanese
Japanese
style.
highball?
Well, do
Wait,
you have
I've got
Nika?
Japanese.
Yeah.
I've got Nika, but I mean,
Or if you probably have something better. Talisker would be fantastic with the soda as well. But I was gonna say, because of the Japanese pine and the yuzu and the kind of salinity that you get, and
Ichigo's?
oh come on, oh yeah, now we're talking. That's brilliant. Okay, so the Japanese
Did you want
essence. Yeah, please. I should
don't
be
have to
drinking.
finish it.
I'm talking too
we're all
fast.
about responsibility.
I'm not driving, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
I don't even play golf.
So the last. Oh, I have so many good jokes that I've just recently
I'm
acquired.
a dad now, so.
Oh,
I'm
that's
allowed-
right.
I'm
Dad
allowed.
jokes are
It's
perfect.
okay.
Okay, so this is a good family favorite joke. Okay, why do mermaids wear seashells?
No idea.
And it's coastal. It's a coastal joke.
no idea.
Because they grew out of bee shells.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Why?
To talk to the idiot. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken. That's my favorite.
Cyclical. I love it. Oh, that's like the impossible staircase. The guy who just won the Nobel Prize for physics created the impossible. Anyways,
What?
I digress.
What's staircase?
There's this thing called the impossible staircase, which is a physics. So the guy who just won the Nobel Prize for science was a physics master who thought of this concept of time and space collapsing within black holes, and he was the first guy to prove black holes could. Oh, you need maple soda.
Cold soda.
Oh yeah, coming right
He was
up.
the first guy to prove that black holes.
Black holes.
What?
Well, so Einstein didn't actually think black holes existed. He
Wow.
proved them, but he didn't think they actually existed. And then
he-
this guy, whose name I'm forgetting, just won this prize. He is a Sir. I know he's a Sir Jim something or other, but he proved they existed. However, I digress. So, the fun thing with this, and I've never come across, I think, a mixer that does really accentuate some of the notes of a fine whiskey. And I know that sounds pompous and bullshit, but there is something that happens with the white tea. We just use a tiny bit of actual white tea, so you get
okay,
you get
'cause I
umami.
use white tea.
You get yeah, you've got Henrietta's.
So see that white tea?
yeah, where is it?
So
It's
do you
down-
know what
yeah.
I do with this?
Yeah.
I make a
I mean,
liter
no,
of
I
tea.
should have said yes.
And I take a very thin slice of orange, a very thin slice of lime,
Yeah.
and a very thin slice of lemon. I put a tiny bit pinch of salt.
Yeah,
Right.
awesome.
And Maldon salt. And I put the
That's-
lemon
that-
in.
you're
and
basically
then,
making toast.
I let it cool.
Yeah.
Until it's completely cold naturally.
Yep.
And then I put it in the fridge. And then I put
Delicious.
whiskey and I chop it with the white tea and I call it tea zuwari.
You've always been the best at naming drinks too. One of the best.
But tea
that's
zuwari.
that's
And, like,
brilliant.
It's so good.
So
it's just so
you've
good.
basically done what we
Did you
white
want to garnish
tea.
or anything? Or
No,
I think
just
we're
like
good.
that. Don't touch it with anything because there's pine. You get and you get a little umami. You get that kind of monosodium glutamate.
Okay, so it makes a lot more sense to me that you're releasing a soda water
Inspired.
with the modern take on having the saline in it.
There's
making
also
it more
3
full
kinds
body,
of
more
acid
round.
in this. So that's the other thing. So, you would. So with each of them, we played around with a different mix for each of them with a touch. Specifically with the tonic, we use succinic and malic acid, not just citric. And we're using malic, succinic, and a little bit of lactic acid with the maple soda too.
Okay, wow.
So the idea is just grow up mixers a little bit, and also to make them look like they're not from the 1800s.
the bead is light on it. It's got like more of a Perrier bead than
Definitely.
a Schweppes bubbles kind of heavy bead.
Good point. And I think that's
So
beading
you're not getting the carbonic acid, but instead you've replaced it with lighter more
acids that are
full
probably
flavored acids.
and I think hopefully the palate that I have is for this kind of beading. Like when I go for a champagne style of bead, because it's not gonna disrupt everything in your mouth. It'll give that flavor through
So-
something else than
So
carbonic acid.
How are you marketing this? Are you like, this is the champagne of
I haven't.
soda waters?
We at the
Are
moment.
you gonna get Matt Berry to be like Coast
No.
soda water?
I want to
Oh,
get
that'd
David
be so
Attenborough.
cool.
I want to get
Oh,
David
that'd
Attenborough.
be
That's
so
well, because I
cool.
didn't finish my story. So
Oh,
that
alright,
so it
sorry.
didn't have a name. No, it's okay. We knew this was gonna happen the way we. So I didn't have a name, and I knew I'd made this inspired by Whitstable, this inspired by Japan. The maple soda is inspired by New England, and I'm like, what am I gonna call it? What are we gonna call it? And my business partner is amazing. We were talking all the time about this. We even like went to some marketing friends and did some naming, workshops. And then I watched Blue Planet, and it was like, the coast, a place where two forces come together. And I was like, spirit and mixers? It's like, a place where everything is reborn. And I'm like, tell me more, David. It was like, a place that's always refreshing. I know that's the worst David Attenborough impression ever.
That's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you were doing David Attenborough. I had no idea.
Sorry,
I thought
that
you had a
wasn't
different mindset.
the coast, a place where two things.
I
So
wouldn't even try.
I went with coast, and then the only last part that I'm very, very proud of with this is Every single bottle, because we're taking sea salt from the sea and we're inspired by the sea, I was like, we got to do something about cleaning up the sea.
Well, I think
'Cause
I
it's
think
terrifying.
every new brand that comes out should be giving
Build
something
that-
back.
yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
I think that like
It's-
it's not
Sustainability
even a
needs to be
gimmick
at the top
anymore.
of people's minds.
It's like a required thing for the next generation.
Yeah.
Because the next generation is going to be like, right, what are they offsetting here?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Every brand has the responsibility to think about this from the outset.
Yeah.
And so we're like plastic free, we're donating a portion of every bottle to the Marine Conservation Society.
Nice.
Which when you're starting out, and there's only me and one other person who've built this whole thing, everything that you see.
Who's this other person?
His name's Richard. He's my business partner. So I had a juice company, you might recall, right around the time I met you. I had a company called Juiceology back in 2008, 2009, 2010. And we actually, our idea was to sell kind of pre-made juices to pubs so that you could just
so
pour
they
like
didn't have-
rum,
like-
and we had like mint lime, and it was basically a mojito.
Do you know how well they'd be doing right now?
I tell everything was like 2 steps too late. I had
It
a
was too
raw
early.
Saf was a
No,
raw
it was
vegan.
too early.
That's what I mean. Sorry.
Too early.
Saf was a raw vegan bar with a greenhouse concept out back, and
Yeah.
now how many? And we just couldn't make it work. But we closed that business down, and then Richard, he's a really amazing dude, entrepreneur, like forward-thinking person, and he definitely handles the back end of the business
Really
better
forward-thinking.
than I can think of. Yeah. I'm scatterbrained. We were talking about this, and
But you need
so,
that. So there's a book outside that
Yeah.
I've been told to read.
So,
Apparently, you need 2 different types of people to make an entrepreneurial business work.
okay,
It's called Rocket Fuel.
I gotta check
and
it
the whole
out.
book is about
Not Rocket Man, because I've read that.
I haven't read that.
That also needed
do you know what's really
two
funny?
people there too. You had
Do you know
Birdie.
what's really funny? So, did you ever see the photo of my son with a Grey Goose bottle playing the piano?
Yes, you
Right.
sent this to me.
So this took a lot of planning, and today I went to find the mini piano.
Oh,
'Cause
no, yeah.
I had this plan of like, hey Joe,
Get
would
it
you
set up
like
here."
the water? We do water 3 ways. The first way, we call it water neat. And I was gonna
no,
give you a water
you were
neat.
gonna-
The second way is this delicious cocktail called water on the rocks.
no.
If no one knows what I'm talking about, that's fine. That's fine. I'll put a
Cool.
link in the comments.
That was Jamie
And then
Oliver's.
The third.
It was Jamie's idea. Okay, it was.
a water cocktail.
The best thing about we were talking about April Fools, and we put that
Oh.
up on April 1st, and I don't think I've ever been eviscerated more than I have on that. Where
What's
people
eviscerated?
like people hate you
Why?
because people didn't get that it was April Fool's Day, so they thought I was actually doing a video about how to make water 3 ways. And they're like, this is the stupidest cocktail video I've ever seen. Water? Come on. What's? Because I was like, and now this is called tap water. And then we just poured tap water,
You
but
know
people
what?
didn't get the
I
joke.
didn't get offended by it. I was like, this is fun. Like, you're basically reminding
would.
people that they need to drink water when they're making, like, water's important.
But it was also a
I
joke.
did think you were going to be like, here's water 3 ways. Like, the first way is just straight up neat. The second way was a dash of salt. Like, I call it saline water.
I call
you
it
know? Like,
Coast.
You're basically, like, putting the, what is it, electrolytes.
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
know?
you can't technically say that, I don't think.
Oh,
but-
you can't say that.
well, it's not. Well,
What
I
about
don't know.
Gatorade?
Gatorade, but it's not. Electrolytes aren't just salt. It's salt plus, right? So salt.
Is it?
Plus, I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Did Gatorade make did they lobby for that legislation? I
Probably.
wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they have like a lockdown on some particular type of enzyme that they throw in the.
They probably.
That's
I like the
electrolytes.
conspiracy theories about.
No, screw those guys.
Speaking of rulings, do you know what happened to my beautiful vodka recently? You know the TTB changed the ruling on vodka finally after almost 50 years. They've taken tasteless and odorless out of the definition in the U.S.
Nice.
of vodka because of
So now vodka can be vodka.
vodka can be vodka. Exactly.
Are they doing it in Russia?
Well, it's, everything is thrown out
Baby
when you go to
steps.
Russia. But in the U.S., vodka is now considered a proper spirit that deserves its place, which I'm quite
Nice.
happy with.
Yeah, win.
So yeah, how did you like that though?
I think
This
it's
is great.
delicious.
So
I'm
let's-
actually a little bit thrown by. I thought it was going to be just soda water, and in my head, and that's why I didn't try it.
Yeah.
I like to try stuff for the first time on the show.
No, I know.
I didn't.
So you can go. Just spit it out.
Do you know what's really funny? Like, I went to London Cocktail Week, and I'm at London Cocktail Week, and I went up to one of the stands, and I didn't know I was like, what are you guys?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And the guy goes, under the thing, right? He's like,
I think I know what this is.
he's like, have a shot on us. And I was like, I go, I'm analysing it in my head. I'm like, I'm like,
So good that it's plastic, right? We were
Is it?
talking about that.
yeah. Is it like an acid? It's just in a really acidic. This has no alcohol in it. And the guy goes, you didn't make a face. I'm like, oh no. Like my
Your sour palate.
have you ever
is
heard
so-
of a dynamic range?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
They have the same
my
thing in
drinker's
music.
dynamic range is
Off the chart.
huge. Like I can do shots of Angostura bitters.
Yeah, yeah. I love. Well, a good shot of it and go. That
Oh.
clears you right out. I mean, in
it
every
also
way.
saved me one day when they told me there was no alcohol to be served at a bar.
You're like,
remember
"What, give
Michael
me the
Butt?
yellow cap."
Remember Michael Butt?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The guy we were
of
talking
course.
about earlier on with the shots. Michael Butt at a festival with all these bartenders. I just arrived from the UK. I've been here like 3 weeks. He was like, sorry guys, no alcohol. We're not serving bartenders anymore. And it was the last bar open.
You're like,
And I see this
"Come
giant
on."
bottle of Angostura bitters that looks really fresh. And I was like, Michael, mate, I've got like a sore, like hiccups really bad. Do you have like a lime wedge and some Angostura bitters and stuff? And he's like, oh yeah, mate. And he was like, he knows the Angostura bitters hiccup trick. So he gives me the lime, sugar, and then Angostura bitters bottle, and I just went, pop. Go, 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 honk. And he was like, touche! Wow! It was like 44.7%
It's not bad.
alcohol.
It's not a bad shot, to be
But
fair.
people were convinced it was like non-potable, so they
Yeah.
didn't pay tax.
Yeah, true. That
So we
is-
should try the tonic water, because otherwise we're going to be here for like. Oh,
Yeah, how are we
it's
doing?
7:30.
Okay, shit. Let's do cold tonic from the fridge. I'm gonna swap this out.
And
And
what gin would you like?
I mean,
We have some pretty amazing gins. I mean, like.
I was gonna say if you wanna select something, you do have an amazing gin selection.
I was
If
gonna
you wanna
say we
select
could,
something
like,
kind of coastal-ish, or
Do you know what I could do?
We've been doing like Salcombe with it.
I could support the people that are watching the show. So
Yeah.
Zdenek is
Of course.
part of Witches.
Let's bring it out.
Yeah.
That
So,
and
I like-
that takes me off the chopping block of like having to have it with just Bacardi brand. So perfect.
Well, there was
like,
two things I was
Bombay's
about to do. I was about to say, start with Bombay.
yeah.
Right?
But actually, that's such a beautiful.
I was also tempted to bring up one of these, which I haven't tasted yet.
Oh.
Dulwich
Oh,
gin.
no way.
There's a Dulwich gin. Get this.
Is
the
this from
guy,
around
the
the
guy
corner?
physically carries it and hands it
I
over
mean, that
to
is
businesses.
that is a sexy.
The only
pack.
way I know to get it is from a bakery around the corner. And get
Who
this-
are those ladies?
Get this. Guess what the bakery does?
What?
They do a croissant loaf.
Yeah.
It's a loaf of bread like this big that's croissant
That
all the
you
way
can-
through.
you can
And
actually
slice
toast it?
and it's a piece of croissant.
Stop
and
it.
you put butter and
Stop
jam
it.
on it.
Have you
and
tried French toast with that yet?
Not yet, no.
You gotta try French toast. You gotta put it in batter.
I can totally do that.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
amazing at French toast. Yeah,
I
it'll
bet
be
you
like-
are.
it'll be
What's
like-
your French toast trick?
It'll be like a cronut.
We've just lost that. But
Yeah, that's
that's
the TV
okay.
itself,
Okay,
it's
good. Okay, fine.
Does that
Yeah.
all the time to me.
All
It
right.
hates me. But
even it's turning off.
I've got them all on eco mode so that if I accidentally walked out,
Oh, good
then
idea.
everything turns off.
Everything's-
after a certain amount of time. But the longest on that is an hour. So
I like that you've got screws here too, just
There's
in
screws
case.
everywhere.
Just in
right.
case.
So
Okay, so I would do the same, 1 to 3, or I mean,
I'm gonna stick with
you
these
know how to
little
make a gin and tonic. I don't have to teach you. But whilst you're doing this, because you've been asking all the questions, I want to ask you a couple questions.
ones. Ooh.
So
Controversial.
you have not, you like I have not been traveling.
No.
Like
It's
most
actually
people.
killing me a little bit.
I wanted to ask you that. So how are you missing it? And are you what do you miss most?
Do you know what I've had two different things happen to me not traveling.
Yeah.
Right? The first thing is I loved going around the world, visiting countries, and
Yeah.
like you see the bars that never get mentioned.
Yeah.
Never get mentioned.
100%.
Honestly, you can't. They might be in Hungary. They
Yeah.
might be in back in the day Singapore
Yeah.
before it got noticed. Like there might be in a place where no one's paying any attention to it. If that bar was in central London,
It
like
would have
my,
been-
my prime example is Gamzai
In
Munich.
yes.
If that was in New York,
It would have been
at the Lower
big.
East Side,
Yeah,
like,
it's a good shout.
It would have been the best bar in the world. Like it would have been like El Bulli
Yeah.
for years. But it was Munich in Germany, and
Yeah.
the locals,
Where I lived for a year, by the way.
the locals weren't into it.
No, I know.
But dude, that
Also,
was so
I
good.
mean, I have to say this: Munich, which is a beautiful city, but it lives in the shadow, cocktail-wise, of Charles Schumann, and you know, you need the blessing in some ways of
I'm
Herr
not-
Schumann, and that's
I
fine.
love the old school, but I mean
Yeah.
that place blew my mind. I loved it.
I can imagine.
And it wasn't my style of bar. Like, but one of the things I loved was the stadium style seating because I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do that in a bar.
Well, that would be perfect here.
Obviously.
We were talking about.
Oh, you know, I used to have stadium seating here.
Oh, did
There
you?
was a VIP area.
I didn't know it went all the way up.
Stadium seating that went all the way up there and went across. Yeah, man. And they had the leather booths and everything.
I love it.
But I pulled it out because I wanted to do the studios.
Yeah, well, it
and
looks
and
great.
Look, I wanted a dolly, so see the dolly?
Oh, I
See
do.
it? The big
Oh,
cameras on wheels.
hello, Dolly.
You can't use the big camera at the moment. It's not
No.
rigged up.
Okay, fair enough. So you missed that. I agree with you.
I miss knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And what's really going on.
I
Not
miss-
not like, and for want of a better word, the media circle jerk.
Yeah.
Like if I do an article with this person, it's gonna get tons of clicks.
Yeah.
This person.
Yeah.
Like this is interesting, but I don't want to take a risk because
Sure.
I need a return on investment.
Yep.
And I mean I don't blame anyone.
Yep.
But there is both a brand-centric like desire to get as much
Yeah.
attention as possible from everything you put out, and you need to because
Yeah,
you've
I
got
get-
bonusable objectives.
You do.
But at
Although-
the same time,
yeah, I mean,
like, I would love to just hear from like Lyndon Higginson,
Yeah.
like JJ Goodman.
Yes.
Not the most PC people to put forward as like our industry leaders.
Yeah.
But them, they're building businesses. JJ got won an award for like the best person. Well,
One of the best-
company to work for.
One of the
in
best
UK.
tales talks I ever did was about hospitality
and
with
not
JJ
even
Goodman.
nominated. Like you don't even see him in the top 10.
I
for,
know.
Like, mentors, anything.
But
right?
because he's too hard building his business and training.
He's
his
busy, but think about this, right? 100 most influential people in the world.
Yeah.
How are the guys that are killing it? What if we want people to be able to get through COVID,
Yeah.
for example, and like they need to start looking at the people who are earning really real money for not just themselves but for their entire crew. So for me, I'm looking at it like I used to see all those people.
Yeah,
I used
sure.
to go to their places and I used to be able to spend a bit of money
Yeah.
with the brand money
Yeah.
and show them a good time. And now I can't. I feel like my giant big net of hearing what's going on
Yeah.
is getting like smaller and smaller because
That's interesting.
without actually physically going out there to see stuff,
Yeah.
there's no one talking about it. And those particular spaces don't have a platform.
I mean, I hear you. I would disagree on a couple things, and it wouldn't be a good show if there wasn't a little
But that's good.
back and forth.
Go for it.
But
that's how I feel.
I'll be Pence, and I've got a fly in my hair. You can be Kamala, okay? Let's disagree. No. Did you see that, by the way?
No.
You haven't seen Mike. Just last night was the debate, and a fly spent over 2 minutes on Mike
And he
Pence's
didn't
head.
do anything.
No, it didn't do anything. It was
Whoa,
people
he's
think it was
good.
stuck. That it was. Well, no, he's not good. I think a lot of. Anyways,
Was
we
he
digress.
meant to like?
I think I love that the Biden campaign came out and just said, if you want to raise money for that fly, please donate. Which is such.
Have you seen the Saturday Night Live?
Oh,
thing?
great! Yeah, I mean,
I love
yeah,
that.
the real thing. Okay, wait.
All right.
So we've done 1 to 3. I've mentioned fresh cut grass, but we've also got a thing called marsh grapefruit, which I did a lot of studying up on different citrus fruits, hence the yuzu and the, you want something kind of local-ish. And a marsh grapefruit, whilst they're not indigenous to the UK, gives this kind of slightly grassier coastal vibe. And of course, Malden sea salt as well.
Ooh.
And this has 3 acids, so succinic, malic, and citric. But the idea is, when you smell this, the grass in particular, growing up in California, when you sit on a UK beach, smelling the grassy dunes is so specific to me. And that I wanted to bring that into, you asked
It's
about
not,
our.
It's not like golf course grass. It's long grass. Isn't
It is. It's
Ah.
actually called beach grass. So cheers. It is actually called beach grass. Well, you ask about the marketing, and my whole thing is we bottle a time and a place.
Yeah.
Trying to make so any gin that you have, you can mix it with that, and kind of it brings you to that time and place of sitting.
Do you
On a
know?
coast
So,
side.
for example, do you have a spot that you can think of, like that is the time and space of that?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, because I've got this great idea.
Yeah.
Right, I just had it.
Our launch party right there.
No, wait. Look at this. You wouldn't need to do anything.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have the headset in here.
That's
but,
all right. I'm doing a drum roll.
Okay, I have a virtual reality headset,
Oh yeah.
and what you do is you put on the headset,
And you go to that
sometimes-
time and
sometimes
place.
I go some places, and I've got my camera, and I get see that monopod that's there that's just standing
Yeah,
by
yeah,
itself.
yeah.
I
You
get
can-
that, and I put the 360 camera on it, and I set it up, and I just walk away and let it record for like 5 or
So
6
you can
minutes.
record
And I can
anywhere in the
loop it.
world.
I can loop it, and basically you put on a headset. And with 360 audio,
Yeah.
and you're just there for 5 minutes. And
Okay.
you get immersed in the space.
Okay.
And I've got.
What are you
I've
doing
got-
next weekend?
Wait,
do you want to come to Whitstable?
I'd love to. I've got this video.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're in the space.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on a bench seat at the highest point in Scotland against the ocean, and there's literally a seal in the ocean. It's not
Stop it.
high enough resolution. It's 5.7K, but not quite enough. But basically, my thought process was if you could
Capture
be,
that
if
place.
you could imagine you're doing coastal at
No.
a show.
Yep.
And you're giving people a sample, and you're like, right, where we want to.
that's
And you
genius.
go, there you go.
We're gonna do
and
it.
you get them to pick this up, and they've got the thing on.
If only we had more than no money, we would
Doesn't
do
cost
that.
anything.
Well, yeah, I mean that equipment does. So I want to bring you to Whitstable officially on your show. Shake my hand.
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as I'm available, I'll come.
Okay,
we'll
so-
go for a beach day.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Madeira next week.
Oh, you go to
Whitstable,
Madeira.
Whitstable, we've got the a fish and chip shop in Whitstable. I remember where it is.
Aussies.
There's a fish and chip shop. Yeah.
Aussies,
There's
yeah.
a fish and chip shop. We drove there to go to the fish
I
and
live
chip shop.
around the corner from that now.
My
Well, I don't
wifey
live.
loves
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so we're bringing the
So-
family, and we've hosted
And we'll make the
many.
recording of your spot for
Well,
that.
done.
And we can put it on. The good thing is we can put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And anyone with a VR headset anywhere
Can
in the
just
world
pop that
can be
on.
in that spot.
I mean, that's the idea. Is how do you bring people to, especially now when you can't travel,
And then
to
those-
different places around the world.
Those. So right now I've got
The scents.
See, so smell that.
Oh.
That's a Balvenie rum cask.
Oh.
It's
There's actually a lot of cinnamon.
and
in-
cinnamon.
Yeah,
that's what it
yeah.
is. It's cinnamon and rum cask.
Oh,
that
that's
smells
beautiful.
The whole place of cinnamon and
Oh,
rum cask.
That's so.
I know.
I'm obsessed with smell as well. Have you know Bloom Perfumery? By the way, what?
We're
How
Penn
much?
Halligan's people.
Oh, you know, Bloom isn't a brand. It's a whole. So I subscribe to Perfume of the Month Club, where she sent this woman who's Russian runs Bloom, and she picks her favorite perfumes from all over the world. And they're usually a quarter of the price of the big boys or girls. Are we
I've got to be
digressing?
conscious. Yeah,
Okay.
No, it's not that. It's that we've got one more to go. I want to try the
Let's
maple
do it.
one.
Maple soda. I'm gonna get
but
you a cold one.
I want to play Mitch's Minute because I didn't get to play it.
Oh
last
yes,
time.
yeah, please
So
do.
if I can just put Mitch's Minute on. Sorry everybody. Myself and Joe haven't caught up in a long time. And as you
We
can
always
imagine,
knew this was gonna
we
happen.
could probably talk for 6 hours
Yeah.
and not stop. So
And
I'm
it
going to
would
play
probably-
Mitch's Minute. We're going to recompose and then we'll finish out the show with a quick 1, 2, 3 and then we'll be done.
Sounds good.
I forgot we were on the show for
It's your fault, okay? It's
my
your
fault.
show.
I'm
You know,
supposed to manage
I wanted
that.
to rehearse.
Yo, there's literally people working in every corner of my house today, and we can't do it in the kitchen because our dishwasher broke, pushed some tiles up, stained the carpet, and they turned off our hot water. So we've had no hot water in our kitchen for 2 weeks, and it's fucking full of flies. It's pretty gross. It's pretty hectic, actually. So I'm gonna get on the phone to them in a second. But anyway, my favorite glass, my best glass, is this Libby Masters series. It's like a coupe Nick and Nora hybrid. It's got like fine-ish edges compared to like those other Libby coupes. It's from the Masters Reserve series. I'll send you a link to the numbers on it. I like this. It's consistent. It's elegant. You can serve champagne in it. It's got a nice wide base so it doesn't fall over easily. You know, it's typical Libby, durable. But it's not as cumbersome and as clunky as those much more common coupes that you see everywhere.
You need to.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were just talking about basically when you live stream, the video goes out at one rate and audio goes out at another, and that's why audio will lose sync. And usually Mitch's Minute is when I bring the audio back, but we were having too much fun chatting, so I didn't do that.
I mean, I thought I was like, wow, we've drank in an hour. We've drank 3 highballs basically. So I thought that's why the audio was not lining up with your mouth.
No, I think it'll be all right.
But also, you're doing all the work. I do feel bad.
I've got
Mitch's Minute's
usually
brilliant.
I've got the guys who are quite good. Like Diogo will be like, your audio's off.
Yeah.
You know, which is cool. There's a community of people on the show that keep me going.
Can I say you built an amazing community here, and you doing this with so many relevant people, and doing this not for anything necessarily. Like, you're doing it for the love of sharing information.
Well, the
means a lot to people around the world, and
I
kudos to
think
you.
The hope is, as I want to do my 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
Right? So I've got 9,990 more hours. But if I kept doing this and I got good at it, and I found a way to make it so that I didn't go broke, because I don't have the money to keep doing it forever.
Sure.
But I found a way to make it not go. The idea would be to, like, for example, if you come back on the show, and it's set up a bit better,
not if,
and
when,
you know,
if I'm invited back,
and you bartend for a bit,
yeah.
It's when I say if it's not COVID and there's a couple of people and I sit down, then people when we're able to fluidly bartend for people, people will be able to watch the show and see someone bartend.
I love that
Because
idea.
To see someone bartend in real life, the best training I ever got was watching really good bartenders bartend and absorbing everything they're doing.
Yeah.
And I fortunately am able to drink enough that I can remember what I've seen.
Even on acid.
And be passionate
Even
about
on
it.
acid.
But be copus mentis and like remember and be passionate about it and know what they're doing. I know what.
Yeah.
But I mean, the average consumer doesn't.
So I was about to ask you. I don't know if we have time. That was my second question. Best aha moment watching another bartender. Where was it and when?
Well, the number one was when I absolutely decided this was what I was going to do.
Yeah.
The first time I went out to an actual nightclub in Brisbane, I watched a bartender make a round of 14 drinks all at once and just
smash it.
And I was
smash it.
Oh, I want to be fast. I want to be the fastest bartender in the world.
Yeah.
And I spent the first 5 years, 3 years, it felt like 5 years. 3 or 4 years of my bartending career, just being the fastest possible bartender.
Well, I've watched you many a time at competitions and thereon.
When I first started bartending, so I'd been a brickies labourer.
Yeah.
And my job was to throw bricks. So the whole day I would be like, and the bricks would be going to 3 or 4 brickies at the whole time.
I did not realize
and
that
the
was a
bricklayers
real
would be
thing.
like, fuck.
So if
fuck.
you
And I was
missed,
like,
it would go into somebody's face. That's what.
No, because
no?
you throw it
kind of towards
you
them.
You don't throw it at them.
Yeah.
You throw it up and see that.
Yeah, and you
sweet
kind of
spot
catch
where
it.
stops.
Yeah.
So you throw it and you flick it in such a way that the brick should move seamlessly. And if I flicked it and my finger slipped, the brick would fly around, and I'd go whoa, and I'd stop.
Is that where the term "bricking it" came from? Because I've always wondered.
I don't know.
We need to look that up. If anyone can tell us who's watching where bricking it came from, that would be great.
I think that might be more that you shit yourself.
So I know I'm gonna think it was a kind of a joke, but okay. That
was where I come from.
Aha moment ever, and I've said this to him many times. I'm lucky. Was I got off? I was bartending in Istanbul. Hadn't seen any proper bartenders since I'd been in New York, and was living there. And I came to the UK and I still have a napkin where someone wrote down, go to Montgomery Place, and then there were a few other places on there. And I got off at Heathrow, took the train directly to Montgomery Place with my bag, and there was this amazing Italian bartender named Ago Peroni, who was in the sunken down. Remember, you used to be like sunken down a little bit into the ground there, the bar, and he was just sitting there, surrounded by like what seemed like 100 people. It was probably like 50, and slinging out these incredible drinks and with a smile, and just, I remember that being like, if I can even do half of what that man's doing, I've achieved something. So, okay, what do we're having this two ways.
We've got there's two ways. We've got the Berries Brothers Caribbean Rum, and this is a 1997 Caroni cask, number 167, aged 17 years, bottled 2015, and it was bottled specifically for Sugar Hall.
It's just,
in
can
Singapore.
I say,
it's delicious.
I mean, I love, so, and this is really the reason why I wanted to do a mixer, is nobody does something for these kinds of spirits.
Yeah.
I think
you've
got
closest you've
Coca-Cola, you've got ginger beer, just as in general.
The closest you've got is Seckford. You know Seckford?
Seckford does some really nice with the keys. But I think something that's embracing all of the different sides of a American spirit, like a bourbon. We've actually got a Canadian, and I didn't know this until you just told me. This is 100% corn.
So it's 100% corn, and what they do is they age it first in American oak, and then they finish it in. Do you know Mission Hill Winery up in the countryside?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so they use Mission Hill wine casks.
Are they allowed to say that on?
It's Mission Hill. They own Mission Hill.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's the same company.
Same company. It's
Wow.
same people. So Mission Hill, they've got like a massive auditorium. Like,
Oh yeah, it's stunning.
overlooking the lake, and they do like private, like what is it, open air opera in the summertime and stuff. Like pretty amazing.
Okay, we'll go there after we go to Whitstable together.
We'll try to make
We
friends
need
with
a
the barefaced guys and
360.
get flown there. So they do 100% corn bourbon cask for most of its life, and then they do a first finish in Mission Hill wine casks.
Yep.
And then a second finish in virgin Hungarian oak, which basically makes it astringent and spicy. So it
adds a bit of that spice
almost
to
makes it taste like a rye.
Yeah.
But it's got a fruity, winey flavor. You can have a taste.
No, it's all right. I'll just about.
It's got a fruity, winey flavor, and then it's got a.
Okay, here.
And then it's got a finish of spice. But the reason I love it so much, when I first seen it, like I always wanted to do a cousin.
Ripped label.
I wanted to do a cousin of Monkey Shoulder.
Yes,
right?
Bear
so,
face.
But no, I wanted to do it Bear Claw, and I wanted 3 claws coming out of here, and then do 100% rye, and like William Grant's own a rye.
What? Of course.
Yeah,
so why did they?
And then because they just didn't want to do it, and I wanted to do 3 different ryes from Canada and bring them together and do and then be like, not that kind of Bear Claw, and people be like eating a giant Bear Claw and go, Bear Claw? Yeah, I know Bear Claw. No, not that kind of Bear Claw, because people,
Well, so
anyway,
in
whatever.
my
Didn't happen.
my
And I seen this
LGBT,
and I was like,
I was gonna say my LGBTQ plus community, bears mean something completely different. And,
yeah, big cuddly hairy
yeah,
people.
exactly.
Yeah,
So
I know what bears are. I used to run a gay bar.
I know you did. We were talking about
Yes.
you've had a cocksucking cowboy or two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back
So-
in the day.
So this has maple. We use fruit. By the way, all 3 of them have less than 5 grams of sugar. So less sugar than you would in a typical mixer before, Schweppes and all the big boys.
That's tasty. It allows
Changed
the rum
over.
to shine as well.
So less sugar, but we've got maple in here. And then we use oak and a little bit of like a dulce de leche kind of caramel. So I poured this, thanks to Jake Berger,
made
I
in a
made
copper
I
pan.
made you a sherry and maple soda.
Yeah, the sherry
And-
one was delicious.
And so
What sherry did you use? Just to...
I used Fino sherry. I think it was, I actually just grabbed, Tio Pepe, wasn't it? Yeah.
This stuff. Love it. They sent
With
me,
rum,
they sent
though.
Me they sent me basically one of each thing.
Yeah, I saw it down there.
I'm like, as
looked
far as
beautiful.
I'm concerned, until someone starts paying me money,
Oh.
that's sponsorship.
I remember when they did Tales in Mexico. I remember Alex Day hosted one of the drinks, the kind of the cheers moments at the end of the whole thing, upstairs at Apartamente, and I remember doing shots of lots of sherry with him that night. And I never understood Sherry, I never wanted to understand it as well as I did that night until
It's so good,
beautiful.
though.
It's a great thing to drink as a shot, actually, because it's not like drinking
It's not too
spirits,
boozy, but it's got the full flavor.
and you get some flavor from it.
Yeah,
Dries
the-
dries
it
your
was-
mouth out
Well,
too.
this was really good. The maple was really good with sherry.
And then rum, I think, having a beautiful aged rum, again, I think maple soda, I'm hoping, pulls these spirits in different ways, and
Yeah.
you can kind of show the face of the spirits a little bit more than you would if you're mixing with anything else.
Which
do you prefer? I was going to ask.
I think the dryness of this makes it a bit more rounded.
Yeah.
The maple compounds that already rich
Exist
kind
in
of
the sweetness.
in the rum.
But you can understand probably someone with a
But-
sweeter palate.
But
might.
it tastes like rum. Like it doesn't. You still taste the rum all the way through. It just kind of complements it and
I drink this with, of course, a lot of Bacardi 8 because I've always been a fan, and now
Bacardi
10.
is so good.
And
There's a Bacardi 10.
yeah, yes.
What?
Come on, come out of
When
your
did
shed.
that happen?
I'll get Tiki to send you a bottle
I never
tomorrow.
hear anything that happens with Bacardi anymore.
No, it's there. It's beautiful.
I feel
We'll
like
make
I
sure.
get left out.
You don't get left. Just come to me. Come on. No, wait, we can't do
With the
that.
COVID hugs.
See, that's what happens. A couple drinks and we're
I
breaking
know.
social distancing rules.
We're not.
But I think, hopefully, thank you, first off, because being able to come on, I've got, this is my bread and butter. There's nothing else in this. There's no other,
And there's
big
at least
names
7
behind
people
it.
watching, I think. Maybe.
And there are, yeah, they probably left now, but no. Thank you
It's
for
been a long
those that have
time.
watched.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out if you are watching.
But also, thanks for having me on, because what you're doing is similar to, I think, what I'm trying to do, which is we both come from a world of big spirits, big, well-known, incredibly embraced brands.
Yeah.
And we're both trying to create something new. And you're doing a brilliant job of it with what you're doing here and putting a showcase of other people through what you're doing. And
Yeah,
that's-
giving people an opportunity to have a stage that,
Totally.
they might not be able to travel. but
and doing it that it's not all about you, and that's pretty badass and well
it's hard
done.
with my ego.
It's
really hard.
You can see this is why this took so long.
We could do it for
Like the two
3 hours.
oh, I know. People were kind of. It was like I
Yeah.
said. It was like I
we're
was
commenting.
Pence. I had a fly. It was like the debates.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So should we finish this off?
We should finish it. Yeah.
This.
Guys, yeah. If you get the opportunity, try Coast. Good, really good.
Thank you so much for having us on. Great to be here. Cheers to everyone out there. Stay safe, and take care of each other.
I love this with the maple. When are you launching in Canada?
Oh, I'm working on it. Well, my husband's Canadian, so when you said
Right.
Canadian,
I'm gonna
Canadian
finish up
finished
this
with
one.
American, I was like, that's basically our relationship.
Oh no! Get outro. Outro. Why is the outro not working?
You ordered what?